All right, we're going to do the area under the curve worksheet. We were given this very weird looking graph and we're trying to find these definite integrals, which are just the areas of them. So it's kind of a geometry lesson. You got to make sure you know how to find area of figures and then understand what these are representing. So for number one, they want us to find the area from 0 to 3. So from 0 to 3, it's this quarter circle. This circle has a radius of 3, so the full area would be pi times radius squared, 9 pi, but we just want a quarter of it. So our area is going to be 9 pi divided by 4. For number 2, we're going from negative 12 to negative 9. So if I go from negative 12 to negative 9, it's this triangle right here. This has a base of 3 and a height of 3. So we're going to go 3 times 3 divided by 2, which gives us 9 halves. Next one is going from 3 to 9. We're going from 3 over to 9. That's this triangle then, right? This triangle. From 3 to 9, that's a base of 6 and a height of 2. So 6 times 2 divided by 2 would give us 6. For number 4, we're going from 3 to 0. It's the same as 1, except we're going in the opposite direction. So instead of 9 pi over 4, we're going to get a negative 9 pi over 4. For number 5, we're going from negative 12 to negative 8. So what we're doing is we're going the same thing we did for number 2, but now we're going to add this little triangle here. This triangle has a base of 1 and a height of 3. So 1 times 3 divided by 2 is 3 halves. So it's going to be the 9 halves triangle. It's going to be the 9 halves triangle minus the 3 halves triangle, which gives us 6 halves or 3. For this one here, we're going from negative 3 to 3. So if we're going from negative 3 to 3, now we're doing the half circle, the semicircle. So since the full circle is 9 pi and we're taking half of it, we're going to be 9 pi over 2. For number 7, we're going from 6 to 12. So from 6 to 12, that's this triangle right here and then this triangle right here. Now you can kind of take a quick look and see that they're the same area, just one's up above and one's below. So if you recognize something like that, you could make this a little quicker and just say 0. They're going to negate each other. One area will be the opposite of the other. Number 8, we're going from negative 5 to 0. So from negative 5 to 0 is this triangle down here and a quarter of the circle. So this triangle down here has a height of 3, a base of 2. 3 times 2 divided by 2 is 3, but it is below the x-axis, so it would be negative 3 plus 1/4 of the circle. For number 9, we're going from 6 back to negative 9. We're going from 6 here all the way back to negative 9 here. So there's a lot in that. There's this triangle, which is 3 times 2 divided by 2. That has an area of 3. This semicircle, which is 9 pi over 2. And then this trapezoid, which has an area of 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 8 times 3 divided by 2, which is 12. So this is 12. This is 9 pi over 2, and this, we said, is 3. Now, the deal, though, is that we're going from here backwards. So instead of a positive 3, this is going to be a negative 3. Instead of a positive 9 pi over 2, it's a negative 9 pi over 2. And instead of a negative 12, it'll actually be a positive 12. So there's our 3 areas. And then if we want to combine and get 9 minus 9 pi over 2, that's maybe a little cleaner looking. Number 10 goes from negative 9 to negative 3. So from negative 9 to negative 3 is just this trapezoid, and we found it just a second ago. It's negative 12. Number 11 goes from negative 12 to negative 3. So it goes from here to there. So now it takes that trapezoid and then adds a little bit more to it. So for us here, what I would do is let's just find this triangle here. This is a base 3, height 3. 3 times 3 divided by 2 is 9 halves. And then for this trapezoid, now we've added this little extra piece. So I have to kind of add that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the bases added together. Times 3 divided by 2 is 27 halves. So what I end up with is positive 9 halves, that's the triangle, minus 27 halves, that's the trapezoid that's below the x-axis. Gives me a negative 18 halves or a negative 9 for the answer there. And then for the last one, we're going from 3 to 12, and we're going to multiply by 5. So let's do 3 to 12 first. From 3 to 12 is this triangle minus this one. Now, if we are smart about it, we can say, all right, well, these two cancel out again, right? We did that earlier. So really, it's only going to end up being just this triangle here, which is height 2, base 3. We get 3 for an answer. And so this integral of f of x from here to here is just 3, but we're multiplying it by 5. So we end up with 15 for an answer there. Hopefully you got most of these right, and if any missed any, that you kind of see where your mistake was, and we just have to iron those out with a little bit of practice.